You know that split second when you glance at your phone and it just magically unlocks? We literally do this dozens, maybe hundreds of times a day. But what feels like a simple casual glance is actually this highly secure 3D invisible infrared light show happening right in the palm of your hand. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into the hardware, the math, and the crazy security protocols that make this tech so absolutely fascinating. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the invisible light show, move inside the Secure Enclave, ask just how secure it really is, look at when Face ID actually struggles, and wrap up with some privacy and security tips. All right, part 1, the invisible light show. To really get how this works, we're gonna have to freeze time for a second. If we look at the TrueDepth camera system tucked right into that little notch at the top of your screen, you'll realize this is definitely not your average selfie camera. You've got a dot projector, a flood illuminator, and an infrared camera. And the coolest part, because it uses infrared, it doesn't even need visible light. So whether you're out in the blazing midday sun or hiding under the covers in pitch black darkness, that flood illuminator and infrared camera can perfectly map your face. It all happens in a literal microsecond. Step 1, your camera wakes up. Step 2, bam, that dot projector fires over 30,000 invisible infrared dots across your face. It's mapping your jawline, the shape of your nose, the exact distance between your eyes. Step 3, the infrared camera snaps that 3D depth map, instantly turning your physical face into this incredibly complex mathematical model. And finally, step 4, it sends all that math to the phone's internal vault to verify the numbers. It's not taking a picture of you, right? It's literally calculating the math of your face. Which brings us to part 2, inside the Secure Enclave. Let's talk about that internal vault. Because if this mathematical model of your face was just floating around in your phone's general memory, that'd be a massive security nightmare. Enter the Secure Enclave. It's a dedicated, totally isolated security processor built right into the chip. It is completely walled off. It has its own encrypted memory, operating totally independent from the rest of the device. That means even the iOS operating system itself, the thing running all your apps, can't directly read your facial data. When the camera creates that math model, it just hands it over to the Secure Enclave and essentially asks, hey, does this match the boss? And the Enclave just checks its isolated records and shoots back a simple yes or no. And this is the absolute crucial takeaway. Your facial data never leaves your device. It is never uploaded to Apple, never sent to iCloud, it's not in your backups, and it is absolutely never shared with your apps. If you log into your bank with Face ID, the banking app just gets a thumbs up it's them from the system. The actual blueprint of your face stays strictly locked inside your physical phone. Moving on to part 3. Just how secure is it? Knowing that data is locked down, what are the actual odds of someone else breaking into it? Well, according to Apple's own security docs, the chance that some random person could just pick up your iPhone, look at it, and successfully unlock it is an astonishing 1 in 1 million. I mean, let that sink in for a second. 1 in a million! That is a mind-blowingly low probability for a false match under normal, everyday conditions. When you compare the numbers side by side, the evolution here is just crystal clear. Remember the old 4-digit passcode? That gave you a 1 in 10,000 chance of someone guessing it. Then we got Touch ID, the fingerprint scanner, a huge innovation with a 1 in 50,000 false acceptance rate. But Face ID? It matches the security of a complex 6-digit passcode. It's a massive leap forward. We're talking 20 times harder to randomly fool than the old fingerprint system. Now this usually brings up a pretty common fear, right? We've all seen those spy movies where the bad guy holds up a glossy photo to bypass a security camera. So could someone just print a high-res picture of you, hold it up to your screen, and hack into your digital life? The answer is a definitive, hard no. Because a photograph, no matter how high the resolution is entirely flat. It completely lacks depth. It gives off zero infrared information for the sensors to read. And it's missing that 3D facial geometry the system demands. A flat image literally cannot trigger the math. No way. Okay, so photos are out. But what if someone tries to point your phone at your actual face while you're taking a nap? This is another huge concern, usually called sleep unlocking. Well, this is where the system's smartest feature comes in to save the day: attention awareness. Before the phone unlocks, that TrueDepth camera is actively checking your eyes. Are they open? Are you consciously looking directly at the device? If your eyes are closed or you're just looking away, the phone stays completely locked down. It stops sleep unlocking right in its tracks because it absolutely demands your active participation.
All right, let's head into part 4, when Face ID struggles. Because despite all this crazy space-age tech, it's still dealing with us humans. And humans change.
Our faces aren't static. Luckily, Face ID is designed to learn on the fly. If you change your hairstyle, get new glasses, or suddenly decide to grow a beard, Face ID adapts. It's actually super clever. If the system sees a face that's a really close match, but maybe just a tiny bit off because of that new beard, and then you immediately type in your correct passcode, the phone basically says, ah, okay, that was you, and it updates its stored mathematical model so it recognizes you better next time. But it definitely has its kryptonite. While it's great at adapting to one person, it really struggles to tell apart identical twins, or even siblings who look super alike. It also has a tough time with kids under 13, mostly just because their distinct facial features are still actively growing and changing so fast. And of course, if your face is completely covered, like if you're wearing massive reflective ski goggles, the infrared sensors just can't get the data they need. It's game over. Which brings us to our final stop, Part 5, Privacy and Security Tips. So now that we know all the invisible mechanics and the limitations, how do we use this securely in everyday life? First off, Apple knows that biometrics aren't 100% flawless. That's exactly why your device has built-in triggers that automatically shut Face ID down and demand your manual passcode. If you restart your phone, if someone fails the Face ID scan a few times, if it's been a really long time since you last unlocked it, or if you hit emergency SOS, the biometric lock just shuts off. It's the system's way of saying, okay, something is a little off here, prove you're the owner by typing the code. If you want to absolutely maximize your protection, you've got to embrace a few daily habits. Keep that attention-aware feature turned on, make sure your iOS is always updated with the latest security patches, and definitely keep Find My enabled. But honestly, the absolute most crucial tip is right at the top of the list. You have to pair this amazing infrared tech with a truly strong passcode. We're talking a complex 6-digit number, or better yet, a full alphanumeric password.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Face ID is an absolute marvel of modern engineering, a literal 1 in a million 3D security scan sitting right in your pocket. But if your physical face is the advanced biometric key, you really have to ask yourself, is your manual passcode a strong enough backup lock? Because if you're still walking around using a simple 4-digit PIN like 1234, all that mind-blowing invisible infrared technology is being entirely undermined by a weak foundation. A biometric lock is really only as secure as its manual backup. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, I highly encourage you to go check those passcode settings right now.